video is for all my beautiful, handsome, divine, consciously aware beings. All right. So let's talk about ego versus intuition. Have you ever wondered which one you were being guided by? What does it feel like? And really, how can you tell the difference? Well, I am here to break it down for you. Now, remember to always do your own research just so you can find any information or details that's in alignment with your soul's journey, path, and just in general. All right. So let's get started. So usually, and this is going to be from my personal experience, when you hear the ego, your ego is usually related with fears, worries, and doubts. Basically, you repeating trauma from past experiences, and it kind of acts like an agent to keep you in your comfort zone or in your safe zone, kind of like to protect you of some sorts. Okay. Now, when you hear your ego, basically the feeling is nervousness. It's going to be fear. It's going to be stagnation for you not to do something or even to do something. And a lot of times, if you really want to know, ego, you are here a lot of times when you are dealing with something where you want to retaliate. You know, I'm sure we've all been in situations where someone has done us wrong, made us upset. And that first thought that comes to us, which usually you would think would be intuition, is retaliation. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get back. I want them to feel how I felt. Well, lo and behold, that is definitely the ego. You know, the ego would want it to be even in the field. It comes like human consciousness. You know, I'm going to make them pay for this. You know, I'm going to get back, and usually you end up getting karma for that as well. Okay. Now, in the lines of intuition, what I have learned is that intuition, it'll come to you almost like like someone giving you guidance, like you go to a counselor or to a mentor or someone that you really respect who's been through so much, and you ask them for guidance and they give it directly to you. They don't sugarcoat it. It's not about what you want to hear or anything like that. It's straightforward, straight to the point. It's about the present moment, and then that's it. It's no ups, no downs, or all around. It's straightforward and straight to the point. That is your intuition. It is a calm tone, and sometimes when you're talking to your spirit guides, it comes through the same way, but sometimes depending on if you're listening or not, spirit guides, depending on how yours are, they might up their tone a little bit. But with intuition, your inner guidance, okay, it is very calm. It's not like a frightening tone. It just gives you the guidance that you need. And let me tell you something that I've learned when it comes to intuition. It doesn't change. The guidance doesn't change. Let's just say that you have a major decision that you need to make. In my situation on my journey, the decision was changing my career path. I had a trucking company. I was making $250,000 a year, but it wasn't my passion and it was not in alignment with my soul's purpose. Trucking for me was from point A to point B to get me from a situation. Okay. But I knew I had outgrown it, but I didn't know exactly how to get out of it or how to get started pursuing my dreams. Now, I just remember every time I would go within, the guidance would tell me, this is intuition, you have to walk away from your business. Now, here's what my ego said, but how will I pay my bills? What will I do? Where am I going to work? Where will I make money? How will I make money? Trucking pays me the most money I've ever made. That was my ego. And my ego continued for at least almost a year every time I would go within, and I would get so frustrated as well, continuing along the same path. And every time I would go within, my intuition would say the same exact thing. You must let go and walk away from your business. Now, another thing with intuition is that it's not going to be able to be rationalized. It's not going to make logical sense because this is coming from above. This is coming from spirit. This is from the soul. Okay. Ego, everything is practical. It has to make sense. It has to be logical. You got to be able to connect the dots. Okay. Before you take that step. It's not the same. So when I was fed up with the path that I was on, I threw that towel in and I definitely followed my intuition. So these are ways, just from like my personal experience, how you can differentiate between the ego and your intuition. Now, I'm also in this video, I'm going to post just some pictures of just some other detailed explanations of your ego versus your intuition. So this way, this can help you along the way in your journey when you are going within, or when you come to a place or crossroads where you have to make major decisions and you want to make sure that you're not making it from fear or from your ego, and that you're following your soul, you're staying on your journey, on your path, your destined path. Okay. And another thing I forgot to mention when it comes to your ego, right? Our body, and we all produce this. Have you ever heard of norepinephrine? Okay, I learned this back in 2018. I think I was watching a YouTube video from Gaia. If you ever heard of them, they're awesome. Okay, Gaia. And they were talking about norepinephrine, right? And so I did some further research. I don't have the tools that I use as far as that, like the resources for that. But hey, like I said, look it up on your own, right? So it was norepinephrine, and this is a chemical that we all release. And what happens is that when we get in situations where we have to take leaps of faith and our intuition is guiding us to, hey, it's time for you to let go. It's time for you to move on. It's time for you to change your career. It's time for you to leave that toxic relationship or even move out of your hometown. A lot of us have lived in the same hometown since we were children, and we need to see something different. It might be a better opportunity awaiting us, but we refuse to leave home. So we may have that inner guidance from our intuition to move to a certain state, even a country, but that ego, will release that norepinephrine, which is a defense mechanism, you know, like a stress defense mechanism to keep you safe, to keep you in place where you're at, where you're used to, the familiar territory. So norepinephrine, look it up, I'm trying to tell you. Norepinephrine is a chemical that our body will release to our neurological system. And when we are faced with challenges, it you know, basically releases the chemicals in our blood cells to control our actions, to keep us actually from making that decision and staying in place. And it's really acting, like I said, as a defense mechanism to keep us safe. But in that case, it's not. It's actually keeping us from evolving, becoming, you know, stagnated is what it does. But anyways, here is the list. Take a look at it. I have 2 different ones, and I hope this video really helps you today. So that way, moving forward, you're going to be able to tell the difference between your ego and your intuition. Safe travels, safe journeys. Love you guys. Bye.